Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the headlines over the past few days, you already know that the buzz surrounding the San Francisco 49ers is intensifying. And no, it's not just about the upcoming season or the usual off-season chatter. This time, the focus is squarely on one of their wide receivers, Jauan Jennings, and the drama that's unfolding around him. It's a story that could have serious implications for the team's future, especially considering how the wide receiver room is shaping up heading into 2024. But before we dive deep into the details, let's set the stage a bit. The 49ers, as we all know, have built a formidable team, especially on offense. Led by quarterback Brock Purdy, who emerged last year as an elite playmaker, the team's offensive scheme is designed to maximize talent at every position. And the wide receiver position? Well, it's been a mix of proven veterans and promising young players. But this offseason has thrown a bit of a wrench into those plans, and that's where the story of Jennings, Ayuk, and the current state of the 49ers, WR core becomes so critical. Now, to understand the gravity of the situation, you have to look back at last season. Brandon Ayuk, who has been a key piece of the offense, managed to secure a massive 4-year, $120 million extension, which was a huge statement of confidence from the front office. But of course, things weren't smooth sailing after that. Ayuk suffered a season-ending knee injury against the Kansas City Chiefs, tearing both his MCL and ACL. That injury not only robbed the team of his presence on the field, but also created a ripple effect that affected their depth at wide receiver. With Ayuk out, Jauan Jennings stepped up big time. He saw more targets, 113 in total, and responded with career-best numbers: 77 receptions for 975 yards and 6 touchdowns. Jennings proved he's a reliable threat and a guy who can step in when called upon, showing grit and determination that fans have admired for years. But now, the question is, what's next? Jennings, despite his impressive season, is now in a position where he's demanding a new, lucrative contract. And if that doesn't happen, he's made it clear he's open to a trade. That's the kind of drama that can shake up a team's plans, especially when the depth chart at wide receiver is already a bit precarious. You see, with Brandon Ayuk potentially missing some part of the start of the season, and let's not forget, he's currently on the PUP list, plus the absence of Deebo Samuel, who was traded to Washington, the team's wide receiver room faces some serious challenges. And this isn't just about having enough bodies. It's about having the right talent, guys who can produce immediately and fit into the offensive scheme that Kyle Shanahan has perfected over the years. The 49ers have relied heavily on their tight end, George Kittle, and that's been a stabilizing factor. But the wide receiver position is still a question mark. When Bleacher Report's Matt Holder weighed in on this situation, he pointed out something crucial. The 49ers are in a tricky spot with their WR depth. He emphasized that Brandon Ayuk's injury status could mean he's unavailable for Week 1, and with Jennings possibly on his way out, unless he gets that extension, the team might have to lean on some unproven options early on. And let's be honest, the current depth behind Jennings isn't exactly filled with household names. Ricky Pearsall, the second-year wide receiver who has already shown resilience by bouncing back from a gunshot wound to the chest, yes, you heard that right, has managed to rack up 400 yards on 31 receptions. That's impressive for someone still trying to establish himself, especially after such a traumatic incident. But the other options are somewhat limited. Demarcus Robinson, Jordan Watkins, and Jacob Cowing are all fighting for snaps. And they're talented, no doubt, but they aren't yet proven commodities at the NFL level. This situation underscores a significant need for the 49ers to make a move, whether that's to keep Jennings, who has shown he can be a difference maker, or to bring in reinforcements through a trade. Now, it's interesting to note that even if Jennings stays put, and the team chooses not to trade him, the need for another wide receiver remains pressing. The team's depth chart at this position isn't exactly overflowing with options, and that's why some experts are suggesting that John Lynch, the general manager, should consider making a move before the season kicks off. There are several intriguing options out there, guys who could step in and contribute right away. Take John Metchie from Houston, for instance. The second-round pick from 2022 has been stuck behind Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, and Tank Dell. But with Dell's injury history, there's a real chance Metchie could become a more prominent part of the offense if given the opportunity. A smart call on a trade for a player like Metchie could give the 49ers that extra weapon they need without giving up too much. And speaking of potential targets, Romeo Doubs from Green Bay might also be a name to watch. He's fighting for playing time on a Packers team that's still trying to find its footing after losing some key pieces. Doubs is in the final year of his rookie contract and has shown flashes of brilliance, but he's also been sliding down the depth chart. So a trade here could be mutually beneficial. Green Bay might be willing to part with him if the right offer comes along, and the 49ers could add a talented receiver to their mix. There are also riskier options, like Treylon Burks from Tennessee or Rashid Shaheed from New Orleans. Both are players dealing with injury concerns, much like Ayuk and Jennings, which makes things complicated. But in the NFL, sometimes taking a gamble on a talented player with injury issues can pay off, if managed properly, and if the team's medical staff is confident in their recovery. The key takeaway is that the 49ers can't afford to stand still. They need to be proactive, especially given the uncertainties around their current depth and the health status of their key players. This entire situation also highlights how much the team's success hinges on the health and performance of their wide receivers. With Ayuk potentially missing some time and Jennings's future uncertain, the pressure is on John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan to find a solution. Whether that's by keeping Jennings and negotiating hard for a new contract, or by pulling the trigger on a trade, the goal remains the same: building a winning roster that can contend for another Super Bowl. The 49ers have the talent, they have the coaching, but as we all know, it's often the depth and the ability to adapt that make or break a season in the NFL. And let's not forget, the NFC West is a fiercely competitive division. The Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals are all making moves to improve, and the 49ers need to stay one step ahead. That's why every decision at this stage is so critical. The front office has to weigh the risk and reward of a trade, the potential of developing their current young talent like Pearsall, and the urgency of having enough reliable options to support Brock Purdy. And of course, it's not just about this season. It's about setting up the team for sustained success, maintaining their dominance in the division, and making yet another deep playoff run that could lead them back to the Super Bowl stage. In conclusion, the current scenario with Jennings, Ayuk, and the overall wide receiver situation is a perfect example of how the NFL is a constant chess match. Every move counts, and the 49ers are clearly at a crossroads. They need to make strategic decisions that will impact not just this season, but the team's future for years to come. Whether it's negotiating with Jennings to stay or finding a talented replacement via trade, the team's success depends on their ability to adapt quickly and make smart choices. It's a story that's still unfolding, and as fans, we've got front-row seats to witness how this chapter will be written. The 49ers are a team built to compete, and their next moves could be the difference between falling short or rising to new heights. So stay tuned, because there's plenty more to come, and I'll be right here to keep you updated every step of the way. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Are you confident Jennings will stay, or do you think the 49ers should explore trading him for the right value? Do you see other options out there that could fit perfectly into this team's puzzle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. We're in a crucial moment, and your support keeps this channel going. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Niners!